welcome back to my channel. It's Janet, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Give this video a like to let me know that you're liking my content, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube can let you know when I upload a new video. And if you're one of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because today we are going to be making all the things protein sparing modified fast bread, crusts. We're making everything. I am going to be making so much stuff today. I actually will have a couple separate videos that I will be recording today because I'm making so many things. I plan on making like 3 batches of the protein sparing modified fast bread and doing different things with each of those batches. So I have an upcoming girls weekend away and we are going camping, so I'm so excited to be doing that. So I'm actually going to be taking a couple things that I have made in the past, which you will see me make today, but I'm also going to be taking a couple new recipes and I'm hoping that they will turn out. So I'm so excited to get this party started and get all this bread making, and we are gonna have a good time today. We are gonna make so many things, and like I said, if you don't see, you'll see at the end of the video which everything that I made today, but just so you know, there will be a couple separate videos that I will be doing for recipes that you will see in the later coming of the week. So I hope you're excited for that. I'm super excited for these new recipes as well too, but today, let's get making some protein sparing modified fast bread. Let's start by making our bread. Now, I am going to do a couple things differently. I have written down what I need to make today because I have a ton of things that I need to be making. So let me just have a quick look. So today, what I'm going to be making is I'm going to be making some sub buns, some hoagie buns. My sweet subscriber, Shannon, I gave her a shout out. She had sent this to me through Amazon. I do have an Amazon wish list. If you guys are kind enough to send me something, I appreciate it so much. So thank you so much, Shannon, for supporting me and sending me this. I am using this today, so I am going to be making some hoagie buns. I'm also going to be making a couple of hamburger buns as well too, because on this trip we are going to be having hamburgers and hot dogs. So I want to be prepared and take my own bread so that I can enjoy a hamburger and hot dog too with the bun. Don't get me wrong, I still love them like bunless or lettuce wrapped, but I thought I would just kind of be extra and take all of this with me since I am doing a big, a big bake today. Then there is a pie recipe that I'm going to be making, so I need to make that crust. And then there's another new recipe that I'm making, which you will, I will show you at the very end of this video, but I'll have a separate video showing that on how I make it and all the ingredients. And I think that's it. Oh, and I also want to make my pull-away pizza bread. So I got that recipe from the ketogenic woman, Anita. I have her YouTube channel linked in the description. She's the sweetest of sweethearts, and she is a fellow Canadian that lives just in the next province over, actually. So she became one of my good friends here on YouTube, virtually friends. So I'm going to be making that today because we need to bring an appetizer. So I thought I would bring that as an appetizer for this girls camping trip. So I thought it'd be perfect because then I get to have it too. Let's get started. I'm going to be making a couple of these recipes with the egg whites, and then I think I'm going to do one recipe with the egg, like from the egg white. That's my plan for today because I just want to see if one of my recipes will turn out a little bit differently, and I think the one that I'm going to be making all of my breads, like my buns, I'm going to be using the actual egg white from an egg. So I'm going to be using 12 of those and see how it turns out, because I rarely use egg whites. You guys know we have chickens, so we tend to cherish our eggs. We only have 2 chickens, so we don't get a ton of eggs every day, so we definitely cherish our eggs. So I am going to be doing that today, so let's get started. All right, I am going to get started. I have 12 eggs here that I'm going to put the whites in here and the yolks in this bowl. So let's do that, and then we can get started on, we're gonna do all of the 2 buns and the hoagie buns first is what I'm gonna do. So this is going to be for that. Alrighty, all of my egg whites are in the bowl now, and now I'm just going to add my cream of tartar. And I usually put 2 teaspoons in mine. I always have the recipe in my description. This is just a half of a teaspoon, so I'm just gonna add 4 of those. All right, and then we are gonna whip this really, really good. And in the meantime, while that's whipping, because it does whip for about 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to mix up my dry ingredients. All right, this fluffed up a little bit more than what my egg whites were, but I feel that 12 egg whites I think is more than a cup of carton egg whites. But I added a little bit more of my egg white protein because if you kind of do it like amount to amount, I feel like it's a little bit more, but either way, it'll still taste good. I don't know, like I feel like I've done a lot of variations to this and it always turns out. So I always just put my mixer on stir and then I add in the dry ingredients. And then usually what I do is I just fold in the rest that are along the edges, okay? So I'm gonna be washing my, usually I put all of this in the dishwasher, but I don't have time for the dishwasher today, so I'm gonna be washing them right after this goes into the oven. So it gives me some time for it to dry completely for my next batch, because like I said, I am going to be making a lot of bread today. All right, then we're just gonna give it a stir with our spatula, just kind of fold it in along the edges. Don't stir it, just kind of fold it in. And while this was mixing, I decided, the egg whites, I decided that I would actually make a couple, do you know in the store that you can buy, well, like before I was keto, you can buy like little, they're cinnamon sticks is what they are, technically. So I thought that I would utilize a couple of these. I'm gonna make a couple of the hot dog and then 2 of the cinnamon sticks because I'm not making my cinnamon bread today and I want to take some of that for this weekend as well. So what I did here with this pan has holes on the bottom. I will find a similar one and I will have it linked in my Amazon favorites, but I did it on a cookie sheet. I put a piece of parchment paper and then I sprayed it really, really good with olive oil spray on this, okay? And then this here is going to be used for my 2 hamburger buns. And then I have my cinnamon sugar right here that I'm gonna put in between for my cinnamon sticks and then on top. All right, so let's put everything in here before my mixture falls. This is gonna be so much easier using this pan. So thank you again, Shannon. I absolutely love it.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold on me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard, cause you're in my space and now I'm so pull me towards you and I
made a lot too. So these 2 on the end are the cinnamon ones. I filled them with my cinnamon sugar and I'm just going to put the cinnamon on top for these 2. Then we can have cinnamon sticks. Those look really good. All right, perfect. That's done. I'm gonna put some cheese on my 2 hoagie buns and my 2 hamburger buns. And what I'm going to do first is I'm gonna put my everything but the bagel seasoning. I just have a little bit, I make my own everything but the bagel seasoning, so I will link that video here and you can watch it. And it is so easy, you guys. It is, I will never go back to buying it again. It is so easy to make your own. And I love the flavor that it gives to my buns. It just adds that extra flavor because alone, I feel like these buns just, I'll be honest, aren't that flavorful. I love the bread, I love the buns, but it's just not a ton of flavor like I would want. I even find that like before I went keto, I even found that with like regular white buns, honestly, so. All right, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of cheese on each of those. And then I have the oven preset to 325. So I am going to put everything in. I will show you, I did a pie crust as well too, just over to the side, which I will show you guys. Right, there we go. All of this smells amazing. All right, so as you see what I have here, and then I also did a pie shell, and you will see what I do with that at the very end of the video, but I will be making a separate video for when I make that. Let's put everything in the oven. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'll probably do it for like 15-20 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I have taken it out of the oven. I have left this in for a total of 20 minutes with the oven on 325, and then I turn the oven off and let them sit in there for 10 minutes. So we are gonna let these cool just as is, and then I will check back with you once they're all cooled. We can take them off of the rack, and I think I'm gonna put some drizzle on my cinnamon sticks as well too. So I will see you guys in the next clip. All right, I have just taken these two off of the pan because obviously they were pretty easy. They flattened quite a bit. So I think what I might do is I might use both of these for a hamburger bun, or even like one on each. I'm not sure yet, but those flattened quite a bit, but these held up really, really well. So I'm gonna see if I can just take them out of the pan. They've cooled for about 10 minutes, and then so I can put them on my wire rack here. Oh, that's easy. It's almost too easy to take it out. This pan, I can tell you already that I'm going to love it. This is absolutely amazing. Like, look at how easy that came out, and they're just perfect. They kept their shape. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use this pan all of the time. Thank you, Shannon. I love it. It's perfect. Oh, my cinnamon sticks turned out so good. All right, we are gonna let this all cool on the wire rack. We're gonna let this all cool on the wire rack. I'm gonna put it on my other counter, and then let's get started on the next item. All right, so I have my oven back to preheating at 325, and we are gonna get started on our next recipe. So I have washed and dried, completely dried my whisk and my bowl, but I think for the next two recipes, I'm just gonna leave it like dirty, and then I'm just gonna make another one right after. I've seen Indigo Nelly, she has done that before, so I'm gonna try it with both of these next recipes, and my second loaf. So let's get started. Same sort of thing. I'm just going to make my dough and everything, and then I will show you guys what I'm going to be making. All right, these have cooled off a little bit more, and what I did is I just made a mixture in here of some icing sugar from the Swerve icing sugar, and a little bit of heavy whipping cream in here. So you can try that out and decide what consistency that you would like. This is a little bit runny, but I am going to put this all over and drizzle it on both of my cinnamon sticks here. I just added a little bit more because it doesn't seem to be drizzling exactly how I want it to be. So there we go. I just added a little bit more, and then it'll a little bit drizzle a little bit better here. So that just gives a little bit of sweetness to it. So I'm just gonna put these back on the rack and let cool. All right, so what I have done with all of my egg yolks is I have made Indigo Nelly's recipe for lemon curd, because she does use all 12 yolks for her recipe. So I thought that I would do that, and I will show you. I'm gonna put these in some single containers. Obviously the glass one will be quite a bit, but I'm just gonna put the 3 in the single containers, and then I'm gonna be using some for my donuts that I made previously. So let's fill all these up and put them in the fridge. Alright, that actually worked out perfectly for all of my containers. So I'm just going to put these in the fridge, and we're going to let them sit for about an hour. And a few of them I'll leave in there also for a while, but I'm going to be utilizing one of them, like I said, for my donuts. Alright, so I said I was just going to leave all of this as is, and I am going to make my final loaf in here. So I'm just gonna put all of the additives in here. This is 1/4 cup. So I use a cup of the egg whites carton, cream of tartar, and then we will mix that all up. And this last one that I'm going to be making is going to be my pizza loaf that I'm going to be taking as an appetizer. All right, so this is going to be our pizza bread. So I'm just gonna let this completely cool. I thought I had pepperoni in my fridge, but I'm gonna have to run quickly just to the store up the road and get some pepperoni. And then we will start assembling this, but I'm gonna let this cool completely anyways. All right, if you would have watched my original video for this, you would have seen me doing this, but I'm quickly gonna go through it. I'm gonna do this as a grid, and then I'm gonna stuff it with, I'm gonna have a butter mixture here. I will have the original video with just this only in that video linked in the description for you to watch, but you will see me make it. I'm just gonna speed up the speed. And so you guys can just watch me make it, but I will have the original video linked in my description.
You're gone now, will you coming back? Yeah, I know that, yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your end destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation. I hope I'll be
All right, this is all completely done now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it with some tin foil, and I'm gonna bake it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Probably once I get to the camping trip. She has a trailer there. There was a couple trailers for all of us girls, and I might warm it up in the oven for a few minutes. So I'm not gonna melt it completely, but I just wanna get it somewhat melted, and then I will take it out and then it'll be ready to go. All right, everyone, this is how far I've gotten so far. Oh my gosh, you guys, everything looks so good. So let's go over what I've made so far. I have one thing left to make. This is my pizza pull-apart bread. I have that in the description for that recipe. It's one of my favorites. I love pizza, and this has got to be hands down my favorite way to have it. Here we have the hot dog buns. I ended up making more. I made 2 more of the hot dog buns, and then I made 2 more plain ones. I'll get into this in a minute. So I have 4 hot dog buns altogether. I have those 2 hamburger buns, and then this is my white chocolate raspberry monkey bread. You will see that in a video coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But I have made that I can't even taste because I'm taking it this weekend. And then I made some donuts. So here in Canada, I'm not sure if it's the same name, if it will be familiar to you in other countries, but they're called long johns, and what they are donuts, and they're shaped oblong, and they have icing on them, like whether it's chocolate or vanilla, and have sprinkles, but we call them long johns. So I decided that I would make some long johns. I put the lemon curd on top, and then I put some blueberries on top just to make some donuts. And so those I'm anxious to try. And then of course here is my cinnamon sticks, which I put the cinnamon in the middle on the top, and then I drizzled it. This raspberry white chocolate monkey bread I drizzled with some powdered Swerve and heavy cream mixture to get the consistency that I wanted. The only thing left that I have to make that didn't turn out, I did not cook it long enough, was that pie shell. So I didn't cook it long enough, and therefore it stuck to my silicone because it was like doughy in the middle. It wasn't cooked. So I'm just going to make that. That is the only thing that I have left to make, and that won't take me any time at all. You will see that whole recipe video coming up in a video that probably will be either this week or next week. You will see that. But that is another thing that I'm making, and I've already done the filling for it. It's just that the pie crust didn't turn out, so I'm gonna have to make that pie crust again, which is no big deal. I just have everything in the dishwasher because I thought I was done. So I just have to wait for my mixing bowl and my whip because I do not have a hand mixer. So I'm waiting for that to come out. So I cannot taste the white chocolate raspberry monkey bread, and I've tasted my pull apart bread. That's amazing. You guys have heard me talk about it. It's delicious. Anita had come up with the recipe and it is amazing. But I think I'm gonna taste one of these donuts, and I'm gonna taste one of them. So one of them I cut in half and the other one I left whole. So I'm gonna have one of the half ones with the blueberries and the lemon curd. So let's give this a taste. Oh, this is absolutely delicious. The one thing that I love about this bread, I use the same recipes for savory or sweet. Now, I feel like the bread itself tastes like nothing. I'll be honest, I've said that before, but when you put it with something else, like when you put the everything but the bagel seasoning on the buns, when you mix it, make pizza bread out of it, when you add this lemon curd and blueberries, it tastes delicious. It is amazing. So, so good. So highly recommend making these. These are kind of like a new donut. Really, really good. You can put any sort of topping on. I think what I'm going to do next, maybe with some of the mixture that I have left over, because my pie crust doesn't take that much of the mixture. You know what? I think I'm gonna make some chocolate donuts. Chocolate, and you know what? I can make chocolate, caramel, and white chocolate donuts because I have all three of those chocolate chip lilies. Now, lilies, we all know it's sugar alcohols. Please, if you're limiting, then you know, don't have this recipe. Maybe stick to the lemon curd. But I have all three of those for chocolate chips. So I think I'm going to make some Long Johns with all of those toppings. Melt down the chocolate, coat it. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. You're gonna see that hopefully in this video. I know this video is probably getting long, but you'll either see it in this video or else I'll put it in a separate video. I have so many recipes and thoughts, you guys, for this protein sparing modified fast bread that I can't even keep up. My brain and all of these recipes are going quicker than I can edit and post them, honestly. I'm posting 4 days a week, which is a lot, but I might have to upload these a couple extra days during the week. Are you guys okay with that? Would you like me to upload more? Would you like to see more recipes from me? Let me know down in the comments because I have so many things going on, but I think I'm gonna do that with this because this tastes amazing. All right, so it is the next day. I have made more of the protein sparing modified fast. I actually did the crust over again. You will be seeing that in an upcoming recipe for my coconut cream pie. And I also ended up making 4 of those baguettes in that, as you would have seen previously, in the pan there, that mesh pan. So what I ended up doing, I will show you in a second, but this is how they turned out. They turned out perfectly as far as the shape for Long Johns. And I am going to make donuts out of them. I decided that I was going to make donuts because I need to try it. So I will show you what I'm doing here in just a sec. All right, so here you will see my donuts. I have 4 of them. I have 3 cups. I have 3 spatulas off to the side, and then I have some coconut oil. So the coconut oil, I'm going to put a little bit in each of the cups, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the chocolate chips, the Lily's chocolate chip. I have milk chocolate, I have caramel, and then I have the white chocolate. And that is what we are going to be using as our icings for the donuts. Obviously one of them I'm probably going to make 2 chocolate, 1 caramel, and 1 white chocolate just because I have 4. So let's get started on that. Like I said, I'm going to put a little bit of coconut oil in each one. You don't need very much. This coconut oil goes a long ways, and I'm just using it so that it's a smooth texture. So I'm going to add the coconut oil in all 3, and then I'm going to put some chocolate chips. Then I'm going to melt it in the microwave, and then we will get started on spreading our icing on our donuts.
All right, I am actually going to get started. I still have the milk chocolate ones to melt, but I'm just going to do the white chocolate and the caramel one, just so that this doesn't start to harden again, because I did put it in the microwave. So let's do the first one here. I'm so excited for these donuts. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to icing them as you would a regular donut. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do on the caramel, because it is the same color as my milk chocolate, is I have a little bit of sea salt, coarse salt, which I'm just going to sprinkle over top of my donut. Just so I know the difference. I'm only making one, but if you guys are making more, if you're going to be making a few of these, then at least you know which ones are which. So just put a little bit of sea salt on them. All right, so I'm just gonna do the 2 chocolate ones, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this in the fridge just for a little bit so that the icing kind of solidifies a little bit before I taste it. There they are. I'm just gonna put them in the fridge just for like 5 minutes or so, and then we will give them a taste. All right, I just put them in the fridge for 5 minutes, but I'd probably recommend maybe keeping these in the fridge. Maybe I'll try to keep one in the fridge and one out, depending on what works better, but the chocolate usually stays pretty solidified with the coconut oil as well too, in the fridge. I'm just worried sometimes at room temperature that it might get a little bit too runny, but totally up to you. But these are the donuts. All right, are we ready to try? I'm gonna actually cut off a little piece of each and try each one. All right, let's give these quickly a try. I am going to try actually the white chocolate first, and then I'll do the chocolate, and then we'll end up with the caramel. So this is the white chocolate. Hopefully you can see the texture inside. It looks perfect. All right, let's give this a taste. So good. Like I've said, the bread, it takes on the flavor whatever it's with. So white chocolate, this is the chocolate. All 3 of them are so good, but I want to say my favorite is the white chocolate. I'm a huge white chocolate fan. And the milk chocolate is probably my second, and then the salted caramel is probably my third. But all really good. The flavor of the icing takes on the flavor, so it tastes like a donut, but absolutely amazing. Give it a try if you have any leftover. If you're making buns or something like that and you have leftover protein sparing modified fast bread like the dough, make them just into oblong shapes and then make them as desserts and put some icing on there. Melt some chocolate chips, you won't be disappointed. All right, you guys, I had to package these up because I had another one of those Long John donuts. And I just had to package everything up because it is all way too tempting and all looks way too good. So I have packaged it all up. I will show you guys in a second. But I am going to, I'm going to make that coconut cream pie tonight, but I'm actually going to close out this video, and I'm doing a whole separate video anyways for that recipe. So make sure that you stay tuned for that in upcoming videos. But I think I'm done this video for today. That took me a while. I would say it's a little after 2 o'clock, but I stopped baking around 12:30. I started probably around 9. So it took me a good 3-4 hours to make all of this, which is pretty good. I might start doing this. I'm gonna see how everything turns out over the course of the next 2 to 3 days. But I might be doing like some batch cooking and some meal prep with all of my protein sparing modified fast breads for the week, or the next like 3 or 4 days at least. The little tip that Indigo Nelly had used worked perfectly, to just leave your bowl and everything dirty and then just start another loaf. It was really, really easy that way. So I like that. Here I have the 2 cinnamon sticks. I never did try those, but I will probably try those tomorrow. This one is a hot dog bun because I am going to take actually a hot dog for work tomorrow. This here is what I'm going to take on the weekend. I have 3 hot dog buns. I can also just have them plain by themselves because it does have cheese and everything but the bagel seasoning. But I will be taking these on my trip. And then this one here is the top one is the pizza pull-away bread, and in the bottom container here is the white chocolate raspberry monkey bread. So that is all ready to go. So I'll be fully prepared. I'm going to take hot dogs and hamburgers like I had said. I'm going to make a couple more things that I will be taking with me on the trip, but I think I'm pretty much prepared for the next few days. So thank you so much for joining me today and keeping me company while I do all this baking. I hope you enjoyed all the different recipes that I showed today. I showed the cinnamon sticks and I also showed the donuts. And like I said, you will be able to see the white chocolate raspberry monkey bread in an upcoming video, as well as the coconut cream pie in an upcoming video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Give this video a like to let me know that you're liking my content. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube can let you know when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.